Hello, it's Gillian. I'm here with Nacho, and then I'm also here with my special guest, who is my twin sister. So some of you might not know that I have a twin sister, but here she is. I'm 10 minutes older, by the way, just to clear that up right away. So it's very important. And Nacho, we wanted to bring Nacho into the shot because he's been a little bit confused because he's been coming up and sitting on my knee, just like, "Hi, Jude, I'm here." And
no, he was kind of
I'm
like
not Judith.
with that kind of, you're the one who feeds me. Why are you not feeding me? And then when I talked, then he was like, "Oh, it's not her," even though we do actually talk like the same as well and laugh the same.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So Nacho, it's okay. It's okay.
It's all right. He's 11. He's a bit set in his ways now. He wants to go.
He wants to go. She let him go. Yes. So, because we've got other things to talk about other than, he's just totally trampled on the artwork. So anyway, what we wanted to talk about was, we're both artists, so you couldn't really tell our drawings apart when we were kids. You couldn't really tell our handwriting apart when we were kids. So we thought we'd do a little sort of art gallery session. We emptied the family home last year, so we came up with some quite interesting little art pieces from over the years, some of Judith's work, some of my work. And so I was going to talk about some of Judith's pieces, and she was going to talk about some of mine. So I'm just going to start on that. And just to say, we've had such an absolute giggle about this before we even got on the screen, because it was just so funny.
Great. So people from Victoria Primary, if anyone's watching, this is a spoiler. It's Victoria Primary.
So Victoria Primary School. So this is one of Judith's first drawings, which is in P5, which would be year 4 in the rest of Britain. And you can see there she's done a lovely little drawing of a monster. And then
it's a monster. It's an Egyptian.
Oh, it's Egyptian. Oh, right.
Women, but it wasn't meant to be. Oh no, actually no. I think it was. I haven't put a lot of thought into this.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. And then on the other side, we've got Lynn's drawing. Like Lynn's been in a lot of our videos, so so I don't know whether she's. But Lynn, there's one of your lovely drawings on the other side. We thought we'd give you a wee mention there, because all those years ago.
We were in the same class together. We've known each other since we were 4.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? So that's like sort of. So that was like one of your first published artworks, and then this one would just roll forward quite a bit, unless you want to go with one of yours.
So this is like this is an early one. Well, I'll start with this one because this is the one we don't really know about, and it's not really that great. It's not Carrick Castle because we're from Carrick, Carrickfergus in Northern Ireland, and it's funny because we actually don't know
who drew that one, and that's okay.
It's okay because it's
really rubbish. It's really rubbish. So we'll swiftly move on.
So we'll move on, but I'll just sort of redeem the situation with this amazing painting that Jill did during GCSE.
Oh, thanks.
Just the detail. Oh goodness! Look at this. Look at the photograph there, and the way the mirror is reflecting the rest of the room. So this is our grandmother's room in North Belfast. Their spare room, actually. Yeah. And I just love the detail. And then this is one of Janssen's, her dad's paintings, because he was an artist.
And we actually have some of his paint brushes. So he was a Dutch painter, and he lived in Belfast. He came over to Belfast in a travelling circus at the start of the last century. So he did all the props and the scenes, and he also was a musician, played the fiddle and all of that. And these are all his brushes. So he worked as an artist all his life in Belfast. He settled in Belfast and married our great grandmother. So we thought we'd show the paintings because
pretty amazing that we've got really ancient brushes.
I know. So it's so lovely. So we've all been very inspired by him, like knowing that our great grandfather was a painter, because he worked in the community a lot. He did a lot of, any type of work that he could get, basically, that was creative and
it's like theatre backdrops, wasn't it?
And, for the Royal Opera House and. Yep, that was it. So anyway, so he's been quite an inspiring figure, in the family line, and we're just really delighted that we, sort of had him as inspiration. Seeing all his paintings and in different family members' homes and all of that.
We're all quite landscapey,
we're very landscapey until we came across an amazing puppetry set that was in my aunt's roof space, which we didn't really know about. And so that was unbelievable when we came across that. But that would be a story for another day. And I think this one is a banana. Now this looks like it's just a study that Judith did. I think it's more the story behind it, which is more dramatic than the actual banana. And that is that when she drew...
Too badly drawn?
It's not too... Yeah, you did a lot of nice texture and everything. It's really, you did put a lot of thought and all into it, but...
Hasn't been finished.
And that's the reason why, you put so much detail in it, because what happened?
Well, I stood up and I fainted after doing this. I actually remember. I stood up, I felt awful, and then I woke up on the floor. And but I think it was the time that I was also a vegetarian and wasn't really eating properly as well. So that didn't help at the time. But I did faint from doing that banana. I think because I concentrated so much. So yeah.
So
funny on that. Oh, it's on to me now, isn't it?
Yes, it's on to you.
So we're debating about this one. Sorry. I think this is quite well drawn, but it's very intense. A very intense look.
Sort of
like Jill's self-portrait, and you did it of a passport photo, didn't you?
Yes, so it was a tiny little image.
But it's just like the colouring and everything's great, and it's kind of how I remember you. Maybe not looking that intense. But yeah, so I like that.
So, and then this is Judith's
self-portrait as well.
So this is a bit tricky to
get, isn't it? Yeah.
But she's done like a big collage piece. And what year was this? What age were you?
I think this was when I did foundation art. So that I was 18. So this was 89.
Yeah.
90. I did this.
I think what I really like about this piece is that she's got a lot of collage. She always worked with a lot of collage, and you're bringing in like the time that we lived in London, and just like all the bus tickets and train tickets, and just old letters like from our grandparents, and just there's a lot of narrative around the edges, which is really really lovely. So the story behind this one is that Auntie Ruth had this, and then she gave it back to you, didn't she?
Yeah, because I think she thought maybe I might be famous someday. And
so she framed it, and
so she framed it and she gave it back to me. So that was nice.
Uh-huh.
And that just takes me on to this one, doesn't it, Jill?
Oh yes, that was very dilapidated.
There's a bit of a London thing going on, continuing, isn't there?
Yeah.
So this is a drawing that you did, a pastel drawing, which just the colours and the lines on this guy's face are, you've just done it so well. They've really captured an expression as well of, I don't know, maybe a wee bit under the influence there, would you think?
I think so. I was just taking photos of anyone and everyone when we lived in London, and it was a summer that we were squatting in London in 1990. So I had my
squatting community.
Yes, I had my Pentax K1000 camera, and these were just all just took loads of photos of in and around the city. And
I think this is a London bus as well, maybe. In the
it is, yeah. So that was nice to come across. I'd forgotten I'd done that. So And I think probably we're going to move on to...
Although there is this one.
Oh, yes, go ahead, yes.
Yeah, this one, I can't remember doing this, but I think I did do it. It's not very clear, but there is like a rather fabulous pair of 1973 platforms featuring in this etching. And I don't know if you can see it, but the heel is really big. And yeah, so that's why I like this, not because my etching abilities are terribly amazing. Yeah, and I got that in the London carpet sale in Greenwich.
Yeah, so it's good to have paintings that then tell you all these different stories and that we can sort of reminisce with. And I'm sure there's lots of people that have that as well. And so we'd love to hear your comments on that too. And then I think that like bringing it right up to present day, because this is a lot from like decades ago. I was going to show this lovely painting book. Was it the other side? Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's on two sides.
It's on two sides, yeah.
So Judith used to live in China. They used to have these types of books where you can just do paintings and collage work and capture your moments through the day. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't think I've seen this, Jude.
It's just like these sketches that I've done in cafes. If I've sat in a cafe and I just happen to have a few pencils with me.
That's fantastic.
Then I'll do some sketches.
It's really lovely. I love
so I call it cafescapes.
Yes, very good. That's a very nice little... So that's a real treasure to have that. I love the way it's really fluid as well. It's one of my favourite words at the minute, fluid.
It's got a fluidity.
It does.
Isn't it?
It really does. So, and yes.
One of your ones?
Yeah.
Would you mind just bringing that over for us, please? So this is what Jill is obviously, thank you, Aina, that's great. Is obviously really well known for it, like these bold, amazing botanical prints. And so you'd say this is one of your more recent ones, wouldn't you?
Well, it's
I
from...
love the contrast here with the dark background and the
yeah. Really strong.
Yeah,
I think compositionally it's not one of my strongest. And my husband would be the first to point that one out, and I would totally agree with that. But in terms of like the sort of, I'm just going to really go for it with lots of colour against the black. You know, that's what I really enjoyed about this piece, about doing it. But, you know, it's just one that we had to hand. You know, there's a lot of other ones floating around, but they're down at the studio. So, but yes, I love this fern particularly. I love the sort of amazing. The light on that and the texture on that. It's like there's always elements that are really strong in pictures. I suppose the thing that is what nails a really good one is when you get like a whole series of really strong botanicals, and yeah, it is lovely, but
it's just
like
so joyful. You know,
yes.
It makes me feel really happy looking at it as well.
That's great. I think what we know as artists is that when you do work, you always think, oh right, you want to sort of improve on it and think something beyond, you know, or you're always learning by what you've done previously, and you know, so yeah, so I'm sort of, I do really love it. It is lovely. So I think this pink flower is a little bit not really fitting in as well with the other one.
Being a little bit too analytical about it, really.
That's okay. So let's put that one there. And this is one of Judith's recent ones.
Actually, this is from about 5 years ago.
Oh, right, okay.
It was during the lockdowns I did this.
Have I got it the right way up?
No. But I should have known, really, shouldn't I? That's the beauty of abstract.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so this is the right way up.
Right.
Yeah, it's quite kind of dreamlike. I suppose I do these kind of paintings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Mum really liked it, so that's why I was able to bring it, because it was in her place. And yeah, it's called Unlocking, which is during the lockdowns. I don't know about everyone else, but there was definitely a feeling of, it'd be quite nice to be unlocked. So that's what this one's about.
Yeah, I love all of the tones in it, and there's also quite a lot of texture. I don't know whether you can see, but there's sort of, Judith always works with like really creating lovely texture on the surface, which really adds to the composition and the colours, and you know, you're doing a lot more on the textural side now, aren't you? But that really comes across, and it's so lovely. It's a really nice balanced piece, and again, very, very peaceful, and you know, lovely to look at. I really love it, and I'm just so glad that you're carrying on with your painting.
Yes, so
it's amazing.
Me too. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it actually.
Yeah,
because we've got quite different. You know, at times we didn't know, like the castle one, we didn't know who did that.
no.
But we've both been quite fine art in our sort of thinking and our motivation, haven't we? And you've taken on a design aspect as well, haven't you? Because you did fine art textiles, didn't you?
Yeah, it's more fine art based.
Yeah, and for me it was because you did BTEC and I did A-level, didn't you?
So that's the difference, because I did a national diploma, and Judith did A-levels, an A-level art, which meant that she didn't have as much freedom, like creatively, as what I did, and yet we were both of a similar ability, so our creative journeys took a different direction because of that.
You were more geared towards industry and the world, I think, whereas I was a bit more, you know, just going into all the kind of draftspersonship.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so that was really good to talk about those things, and just to have Judith here and to be able to talk and reminisce a bit and do the whole sort of twin thing. And
so any questions, you know, you can kind of, like, there might be people who literally haven't seen us like in a video together, or, you know, seen us together since we were kids even, so might be a bit freaky. So any questions, far ahead. Yeah.
I mean,
or comments, memories that you might have and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's only like, well, I mean, I had a couple of things that I was just going to say, that, you know, there's one piece that we worked on collaboratively together, and that was when we were about 17, and I did lots of photos of Belfast Market when it was really old, like, you know, it had all of its Victorian features, and it was just really quite run down, but it had St George's, and before it got all done up. And then you took those photos and did like a really beautiful big composition around them, and that was a natural collaboration that we've done.
Which we didn't sort of recognise at the time.
No,
I just sort of took your photos, didn't I?
Exactly.
We don't even know where they are.
I don't even think you asked me. You just took them.
Terrible.
And then also,
you took such great photos as well.
Well, then the other thing was that I wasn't very good at writing essays, so on my diploma, because I hadn't done A-levels and I wasn't really writing very much, I was just doing the art. She actually did my essay for my diploma.
You got
a really high grade, and it wasn't. And she did my essay for me.
Handwriting's really similar. It was actually a handwritten one, wasn't it?
It was really, so that was definitely, So we've had a few laughs along the way, and, you know, it's just really great to, you know, be able to chat to you about that. And I don't think, if there's no questions, I think we'll just leave it there, and we're going to continue having a good laugh about, you know, looking at some of these, and I hope everyone has a really good weekend, and it's still barbecue weather, so, you know, run with it, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah, see ya.